Because my girlfriend's like that. I had a six-pack when I was running from John Saxon when I got my leather jacket open. There's a shot in my six-pack. But this dude, he was way too. I didn't go to the gym for that. It was just anorexic, skinny six-pack. This guy was packed, and I was like, that's not me. And he's really doing great stunts. But I had to tell people no because I got people sending me stuff. Hey, hot Nick. I'm like, that's not me.
No, I think when you have your stunt people, you feel so grateful to them because they're usually like, really great bodies and they really like
nice butts.
Yeah, but you see, I think there were 2 or 3 stunt women who did a scene in the fire scene where I run up the stairs and Freddie running after me on fire. That's a stunt woman. Underneath the water when I'm fighting with Freddie in the bathtub, that's a stunt woman. And then I think there's a couple of fight scenes in the bedroom where we're like wrestling each other on the ground, and I think there was a stunt woman on that scene too. So, but not that many stunt people. I mean, we didn't have that many stunts from my character.
The fire guy.
Oh yeah, Tony Caesar. He's a very famous stuntman who does fire. That was the longest on fire burn up until that point and for a long time, because if you look at when I first set Freddie on fire down there with the match, he catches on fire in the basement, and then he runs up the stairs and then out the door. It's probably, I don't know, 5 seconds, but that was considered a really long burn at that time. I think it was probably quite long. He was a really good stuntman.
All right, who else has a question? Where do you go?
I always loved the show, just the 10 of us, and I loved your reference to Elm Street on the very first episode when
Yes.
you first walk into the house.
There's a knife in the cutting board, and what do I say? Do you
You
remember?
said something like, "This is just like a Nightmare on Elm Street" or
Right,
something.
right. No, the young man who played my brother, Matt Shackman. So he really, in true life, was a huge makeup effects fan, and he, on the weekends, would rent out a little space at K&B, or one of the makeup effects houses at the time, and work on his sculptures and make his latex masks, and he was really, seriously, wanted to do that as a career, not be a lousy actor, right? And then as he grew up, he ended up going to college and went to Yale drama and came back to LA, and now he directs Game of Thrones. He's like one of the biggest directors in Hollywood, yeah. And he came to visit me not too long ago, and I gave him a set of Spock ears that my husband and I had from Star Trek Into Darkness. And there's a guy like who's just so worldly, been around the world doing all these important projects, and I just thought he was going to die. He was like so excited. It was nice to do something.
I keep flashing. I think we hadn't seen each other for so long. And I went to the Oscars. Somebody invited me to the Oscars. It was so weird. She's coming out of a limo with an Oscar. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? He goes, my husband won.
At a Vanity Fair party, I know. I know, I went. I mean,
She came out with the Oscar or something, and I was like, did you win?
I carried it as long as I could without people like. Well, my husband was wearing these rings that night that are really big, and they were scratching it. And so we noticed that he'd already scratched it up with his ring, and I'm like, I'm carrying it from now on. And so it was really just so it wouldn't get so bummed up.
I was super jealous.
I'm jealous. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I see a hand back there.
Yeah.
And your husband's David Leroy.
Yes.
And so I know he worked on Dawn of the Dead. And did he work on Pet Cemetery as well?
Yeah, so that's how I met him, is through Wes Craven. So he started his movie career working for his dad, who was Lance Anderson, and it was called Lance Anderson Makeup Design. And Lance did People Under the Stairs. No. They did Shocker, Pet Cemetery, and no, that's not Wes Craven. I can't remember the name of the movie now. Serpent in the Rainbow, Shocker. And one more, it might have been People Under the Stairs. And anyway, so he worked with Wes Craven, and my friend invited me to the wrap party for Serpent in the Rainbow, and that's where I met David. And then he's gone on to do, he was Charlie Sheen's makeup artist for many, many years when we first got married. So we went all over with Charlie, and that was really fun. And then he decided to get into makeup effects more and joined his dad in partnership. So they've done a lot of movies. But Cabin in the Woods, I think, and Star Trek Into Darkness, and we've done, this is our 6th season of American Horror Story. So I'd say those are the 3 things that, we do all the makeup effects. We just did one called Ratchet with Sarah Paulson that's really great. And I saw that you have this psychiatric museum here. It's all about the early days of psychiatric medicine, like in the 40s, when it started becoming lobotomies and aversion therapies and strange electrocution and all these therapies were trying to help people, and it's really scary. It's not a horror movie, but it's like all the gore that we made is so gory, it's disgusting.
I was gonna ask, between the two of you, you guys collect a lot of horror memorabilia, and what, if you have
No,
any
I don't
cool
collect.
pieces.
I mean, I have my pajamas and I have a few things from Nightmare on Elm Street. And of course, when we work on American Horror Story, we store a lot of that stuff so that they can use it later. We did Twisty the Clown, so we have like the original Twisty, and we have a lot of like the Red Devil. We made the Red Devil for Scream Queen. So we have like a lot of that kind of stuff. And we don't usually give tours of our studio, but I think at some point I should make everything look really nice and invite people to come see it, because it's a really cool museum. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really,
like San Francisco,
the
Lucas's.
oh yeah, that place is really incredible.
It's
Yeah.
called Lucasfilms.
Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the original door.
Right. You can see all the making of Star Wars there. It's really cool. So maybe I could convince Ryan Murphy, who does all those shows, to have a museum in LA. I think it would be really popular, because he's done so many shows now that are scary and they have great makeup effects. And we have to do them so quickly now because you only have a week or two to turn around like a full-on burned-off skin gag or something. So we know how to work really fast, Mr. Producer, if you ever need makeup effects. I know he's retired. Dang.
All right, we got any more? There we go.
Oh, I could listen to you guys all day, but I was wondering if you have any other stories you could tell us.
Nick, well, I call him Jesu, so he has lived a much more high-style Hollywood life than I have. He's the one who rubs elbows with the richer pigs. I don't. I have a good story.
You came out of the Oscar.
I know.
The Vanity Fair party she's talking about, she comes out with an Oscar, and I'm holding Sally Kirkland's shoes. She's like, "Oh, we won the lottery. Would you like to go to the Oscars?" That's it. There's 2 ways to go to the Oscars.
Right.
You're either somebody's bitch, which means you're carrying their shoes. That was me. Or you won the Oscar.
It's not that.
No, I had a lot of my stories of. I've been around. I've seen. What did they say? I have a friend that says, "I know how the sausage is being made." So you know how the meat's being made in Hollywood, and you're like, "Oh, I don't think I want to do that." And I finished a 3-year picture I was co-directing, and my friend goes, "I don't think you'll want to make another movie again." I'm like, "You're right." The Mystical Traveler documentary film I did, I shot on a red. It was incredible. She's right. I mean, you start to learn. By the way, I'm a freak fan of American Horror Story. During my really down period, my friend was dying. I watched Up to the Circus.
Oh,
You know, the great thing about this series is they hire the same actors.
I know. It's the
Jessica
best.
Lange plays the same role. I'm in love with her, and then everyone else is in there. And I was like, this show is bitchin'. And I saw the Lady Gaga show
Yeah, that was out.
all the way, and they play Fleetwood Mac music. And this shit is the bomb show.
No, I mean,
The psychiatric one was incredible.
yeah,
And then I went up to the circus where the clown is some freaky shit there. I think that was my growing up in Coney Island and Funhouse. That show brought me into like, wow, it was all like freaky, distorted, and I was like, this is where I need to be at during my depression. The distortion of life and everything. The show was great, but all in all, at that period, I finished sort of I did Atlas Shrugged. I did, I worked with big movie stars, Mel Gibson. At the end of the day, they all go to the toilet, and they're the same as us. If you take everything away, they're just like us. And
Sometimes if you take everything away, they're way more boring.
They're way more boring.
I mean, especially now because of the cult of celebrity, and
Yeah.
it's really hard to lead a really average, normal life, that you find that they don't have the opportunity to experience like everything that's out there because they're afraid. They're afraid to be in public. They're afraid to sometimes have to fight off crowds, but work with paparazzi. So a lot of people like kind of live in their houses, and I'd even say, I have friends who they're afraid to go out, and so as a result, at the end of the day, for those folks, I actually feel really lucky because, I have always prized trying to be as private as I can, knowing that I love going to the outdoor flea market and trying to get some vendor down on a $3, butter dish. And if they knew that I was like Heather Langenkamp, they probably would have let me get away with it. But there's just aspects of normal everyday life, going to the gas station, things that you really don't think are special or important that actually are special and important. And a lot of folks who want the celebrity and want the fame forget that they have to give up that stuff. And I'm glad. I really, really try to have super normal life that way.
There's the curse that the curse that
we play with is, and you immediately have to overcome it, is youth. Our youth is plastered on a film or on the internet forever. So then as you're getting older, you're going, damn. And so you have to move. You have to give it up and go, I'm not that anymore, but really sometimes you get brought that. You're that, you're this. Yeah, you're like I got old, but I'm honored to be here with the fans, and I'm blown away when two 16-year-old girls are asking me for my autograph. That means our film is going to keep going, and I want to be like Sid when you're 80. Fucking sitting there signing 60. And then there's 20-year-olds. And to me, I appreciate all of you guys. This is actually more exciting to me than a set where it's ego trips. And it's that's the issue that I have in learning about my ego. And then how do I work with just sacrificing my ego. That means I don't want to kill myself. But I put my ego, which is emotions and thinking about my life, and put it aside and just serve. And when I come here, hey, I appreciate your money in my pocket, but I really like to see you guys because I go, well, this is America. This is what buys the tickets. I need to come and serve. And so I'll see babies, older folks, everything, and I'm like, some people are weird. They dress up, and I'm like, all right, this is America. Or this is the world, and this is a canvas in which buys our tickets. So therefore, I bow down and go, thank you. Thank you for it all. I'd rather be here than on a set, actually. And when the shit is crowded, like on a Friday, Saturday, it pays a lot more than a set.
Well, I can't beat that. I mean, I think that's exactly how I feel. And thanks so much. And hopefully we'll be back soon. And, bring some of our other friends with us too. It's always fun to have a big group. Yeah. And it's our 35th anniversary, so happy anniversary.
Oh.
That wraps it up for us, you guys. Let's give another round of applause. Yeah!
Thank you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Is that
I'll switch your seats. I'll trade you seats.
Well, I could just go back.
I think there's some open ones over there too.
Okay.
Sorry, but
No, that's okay. No, you're good. Thank you.
Throwing off his angle.